Yes,
Hello, for those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Rachel Arnold. I am the founder and CEO of World Plasma, formerly Plaxel USA. We changed our name to World Plasma when we started getting students all over the world, and it just made sense. So here we are. We got students in Singapore, Chile, UK, Ireland, Scotland, Australia, Mexico, Sweden, like everywhere now. So it's pretty awesome.
He's the best of the best, I'm just gonna say.
So the whole point for tonight is to introduce you guys to one of our most fabulous trainers. All of our trainers are amazing. This is Eastyn, and she is in Colorado. What part of Colorado again? Remind me.
So I'm near Fort Collins, where CSU is.
Okay.
So it's like
I think that's where my marketing agency is out of.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So it's like 45 minutes away from Denver, just on I-25, just a straight shot. So it's not too far. The Denver
Very
area.
cool.
Yeah.
I know probably one of your most favorite questions is 420 your favorite holiday?
I'll have to say
hey, it's legal there. So.
Throw myself under the bus, but it's a fun holiday.
Yeah, we're in Texas. I'm in Texas, so we're still like behind on that, but whatever. We'll get there. Yeah. So anyway, those of you that are not part of the World Plasma Training Program yet, I hope we'll get to answer a lot of your questions about Plaxel tonight. We'll have some Q&A in a little bit, but I have Eastyn here because she found me much like the same way that you guys have found me with Mike's awesome Facebook ads and his amazing website, and then of course my masterclass that I was very pregnant in. Most of you have seen that version of it. So, and then those of you who are students, you guys have gone through the course already with my hair and makeup done all nice, which it's not now because, you know, mom life. Anyway, thank you again for being on here tonight. And I want to ask Eastyn my first question for her, because this is our interview with her tonight. First of all, not just how did you find Plaxel, but why were you looking for another device? Like, what is your background with plasma?
Okay, so at first I was at a different med spa before I opened my own. I've been open for about a year and a half now, but when I was at this other company, we were looking into plasma pens, and I was the first one to bring it into my area, northern Colorado. And you did the same thing. And sorry, I got distracted there.
Yeah, if you are not muted, please mute yourself so that I get distracted too when I hear something. So
I got it. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah. You're okay.
Okay, yes.
So you were bringing plasma into the med spa that you were at.
Yes. So that was my goal all along, was because I knew about it. Not a lot of other people knew about it because it was still super new at the time. And I said, we need this device. I promise you it's going to change your whole dynamic of your work and bring in more and more money. And it kind of went back and forth with the owner, and like, I don't know, because she doesn't like to spend a lot of money and stuff. But we ended up getting a plasma pen that was not the Plaxel. So I have well-versed training in the other pens as well, because I was also their hands-on trainer too. So
without like throwing other companies under the bus, because you guys know I don't like to do that. How many other pens have you worked with?
I've at least worked with 2 other pens, and the one that I really did like, that was, I don't know if it would be considered electric just because it has that purple arc, you know? So, I mean, it still got those results, but it's still burning the epidermis. And that's not what we want to do. We don't want to, ruin or trauma any of the skin. So I think Plaxel pen is by far the best that I've ever used in my entire life. And I'm so excited that I switched over to your company, because this pen has changed so many people's lives for the better, and all their insecurities are gone. And you can literally earn your money back in like 1 to 3 treatments. So
that's awesome. So what are the main differences that you've noticed between the Plaxel pen and other pens that you've worked with? Because I know that you you guys, you can see some results with these other pens. We're not saying that you can't. We're not saying, oh, they're fake and we're
Not
like, that's not it at all. But because I'm not going to talk bad about other pens and other companies, just not my style. But I do feel like we have the best pen in the world right now with the latest, greatest technology. So
100%.
What do you notice that is the main difference between the Plaxel and the other pens that you've used?
There are so many differences that I could just explode and just rant off a list, but I won't do that to y'all. But Plaxel is just so much different than, burning your epidermis right away. Like the plasma energy is going underneath, the first layer or 2 layers of your epidermis. So it's not going to cause as much trauma on top of your epidermis, and you'll have to correct it later on. So I got more confident and happier when I went with Plaxel, because I had no more anxiety about if they're going to have hypo or hyperpigmentation, or, the dots fall off and then all of a sudden, it's pink or it's white, things like that. We want to always pre-treat versus treat afterwards. So if they are a darker skin Fitzpatrick, so I would say anything from like a high 3 to a 4, you're going to want to pre-treat them for at least 3 weeks on the hydroquinone, skin lightener, bleach, whatever you want to call it. I use mine from VI Derm Beauty, so the VI peel line. It's my favorite one. I've tried out a lot of the hydroquinones, but that has hands down my favorite. So yeah, but the differences are just extreme. So when you're working with an electric pen, you're just getting a little nervous because you're seeing those dots right away. And sometimes when I was training people, they would push too hard and it would still ignite, and it's leaving more craters in the face. Like it's like making holes in it, versus the Plaxel where it goes underneath and it's completely flat and it's white. And then the scabs will kind of gradually come out and then fall off, which I've noticed less painful than the other device, way less painful. Also,
so I think one thing that you alluded to was that the crater issue. So with other pens, you're having to get so close, you're almost touching that skin, right? And you would almost sometimes touch it and put pressure on, right, in order for it to work. So that huge difference with the Plaxel True Plasma is that arc that jumps from the needle to the skin. You don't even touch the skin. So
that's
cool that you've noticed that.
And it's so much lighter than the other devices I was working with. I'd have to use my shoulder as its support because they're so heavy. And you can definitely tell a pen from a true plasma to a real true plasma to, an electric pen just by the arc. So if you're looking at the arc, I'm not going to name the company, but it's very well known.
Yeah.
And so when their arcs light up, they're orange, like a fireball. So that means it's an electric pen. Do not buy mole removers. Please put your client safety first and your ethics. That is my number one thing, is just don't go cheap on this. You're investing money and time and effort into this industry, into this company, or if you decide to go with it, so you really want to just stick with that.
Yeah. Like when I first got my very first pen, it was an exact copy of a mole remover pen on Amazon. And I was really upset about that. So if you went with a company and they gave you that as a practice pen and they called it a practice pen, it's exactly that. It's a practice pen. So I recommend just working on fruit with it and then making sure you get something you can actually work on people with.
Exactly.
So yeah, there's a lot of that. And I was told that it was a true plasma pen, and I was very disappointed. But
I'm like, why?
A lot of us
on that one.
Yeah. And a lot of us are told that with these pens that we're researching, we're told that these pens are true plasma. And I've been wondering for a long time, are these people lying to us? I really just think they don't know.
Sorry,
I
got my little opinion. I'm like,
I just I tend to think that people are inherently good. So I'm like, maybe they just don't know, or, I don't know. Maybe they just don't know.
In the United States, it's really new. So a lot of people don't know what to go with or what really to do. And they just kind of research like, oh, here's the number one pen. I'm just going to go to that and buy the pen. I do not
Yeah.
recommend that at all. What I like to do is actually research a company first, make sure that everything is credible on their site, their phone number, and them in person.
And when I first met Eastyn, I was like, uh-oh, because she was like, I have this question, I want to know this. And then I was like, you know what? I like her because she's asking all these questions. So those of you that message Mike and myself and you have a million questions, like, don't feel bad. Some of you guys are like, I'm sorry, I just have another question. Oh, I'm sorry, I have another question. Don't feel sorry. We love people who do their research because that means you're going to make the best decision for you and you're going to be happy and we're not going to have problems.
Exactly.
So,
There's less trauma, less pigmentation issues with using this pen. Like, you really don't have to worry about that a lot.
It's a lot harder to hurt someone with this pen unless you just start using it without even knowing what you're doing at all. But yeah,
that's why we're here.
That is exactly why you're here. So my main goal with starting this was to, one, get this true plasma pen out into the market and educate the world about it because everyone needs it that only has electric pens. And
Correct.
I started having consumers come to me with issues with their skin, having done this with an electric pen from some other practitioner, and just there were some ladies that came to me in tears because their skin they felt was ruined and like, what do I do? And so I would have to find people that did microneedling and all these things for them to go to fix their skin. And I'm trying to avoid that. I'm trying to educate our market so that people have a true plasma pen and they have not just the pen, but the good training to go along with it. So I continually edit the training program. I add new information as we get it. Like, we're still learning about this device and everything that it can do. So anytime we learn something, I add that into the training and I don't consider it advanced training and charge you more. It's just included. So Eastyn has the same passion for this. I think she's a lot more passionate than me, actually. She's like super crazy over the top passionate about this. So we were on the same page with that. So for those of y'all that just joined in, Eastyn is one of our trainers in Colorado, and she's absolutely amazing. And she was just telling us the differences in the pens and why she was looking for a different pen. But like me, I heard that True Plasma was out there, but I didn't see True Plasma happening on my client's skin with my pen or any of the other pens that I tried. I was like, they're all just burning. They're just burning or just burning.
Even says it's a True Plasma pen. It's like, I would get nervous doing procedures just because I'm like, okay, she's a little dark. I did pre-treat her, but still it was risky. Now that I have this Plaxel, I don't have to really worry about that at all anymore. It's never in the back of my mind. I can just go with the flow and do my thing. And if I always have a consultation first. So if I see that they're a little dark, maybe high fits 3 to a 4, you're going to want to pre-treat them with the hydroquinone, like I already said before, because you'd rather pre-treat something versus treat it later.
Yeah. And you said something really interesting a little while ago about, and I was wondering if you tested this on yourself to feel the difference in the old pens versus this one. I have too. So you said a superficial burn versus entering the skin. How does it feel when you do it on yourself? How does it feel different?
Is so different. So the other plasma pen I used was torturous. It felt like my skin was literally getting bolted with fireballs, and it was just I could do one dot and then I was done. With your Plaxel pen, which obviously I'm so obsessed with and get all my clients obsessed with it too. So like, you got to have that passion, you got to have that drive to be successful with this procedure, because if you're not, promoting it to every single person that you see, then what are you, So
I love that you're so excited about it. I know that.
So
yeah. And I remember when I tested on myself for the first time, I noticed that I felt a superficial burn with my other pens. And then I felt the plasma energy from the Plaxel actually enter my skin. Like, it was a very different feeling, right? And what's happening there is with Plaxel, for those of you guys that haven't been through the training yet, is the plasma energy is entering the epidermis So the white dot actually comes from an exfoliation effect where the plasma pushes the stratum corneum and lucidium out of the way. So those top two dead layers get pushed out of the way. That creates that white dot. And then the cells that still contain some moisture are sublimated or deleted. Some people call it evaporation, but it's sublimation, where solid turns to gas bypassing the liquid phase.
Like,
So
yeah, I got you.
yeah, so we're deleting some skin cells. And then what does not sublimate is carbon. We have carbon in our cells. So that stays behind, but it stays inside the epidermis. And it comes up out of the skin as your client starts to heal. And that's when they become bumpy versus other pens. It's just creating a scab. So it's immediately bumpy with an electric pen. So that's the difference that you were referencing.
Oh, yeah.
You get super excited. I get all technical.
I know. I'm like, okay, I'm like, don't jump in, but I'm like, no, it's so different. And the feeling, like, I could literally do a bunch of like my scar, like little random things on my arm without even numbing cream using it. I couldn't have done that with any other pen. And then the results, I'm not kidding, are spectacular. I have never been more impressed in my life with using this pen and switching over. The other one, I was always skeptical.
We have a lot of Eastyn's before and after photos on our Instagram, so you guys can go check those out because they're amazing. She's done these breast lifts that are just, oh my gosh, wow. And that I wanted to ask you, how long did it take for you to pay off your investment, by the way?
Just 2 clients. It was that week that I got it in.
That's amazing.
Lined up. I'm getting plasma pen, and I needed a plasma pen because I was just like, I didn't like the one that I was using before. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start researching. I'm going to really get into detail. I'm going to ask questions on forums. I'm going to everything. I have to detail. I have to make sure that I'm going with a credible company and that represents great. And once I started talking to Mike, I was like, I'm like sold. He's amazing. Am I right, everyone? He's the best. I'm like, no doubt about that. So, that excites.
And also, so we have this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone plays so perfectly.
Yeah. And we have this exclusive student group for those of you that are in World Plasma. If you're not, when you sign up, you'll be part of this exclusive student group. And Eastyn is very involved in that group. And I point this out because Eastyn and I don't 100% agree on absolutely everything. Like, we agree on a lot of things, but we have different ideas, and that's what this group is for. I don't know everything there is to know about this. We are pioneering this field. Plasma is very new, especially true plasma pens. They're very new. So true plasma existed as a concept and an idea a long time ago, and I'm not sure what happened, but all these electric pens came out of nowhere, and not true plasma pens until more recently. Yeah. So we are really pioneering this field. And that means that all of our students are coming up with new ways, new ideas, and new ways of doing things all the time. And Eastyn is no exception to that. She's always coming up with new things. And I also wanted to ask you, how in the world did you get those amazing breast lift results? Those are amazing. You all have to check them out on our Instagram. They're just, wow.
I didn't even know that they would look that amazing because that was my first breast lift that I did. And then she wanted it again, and she came back in, and I'm like, girl, do you want to see her before real quick? And we took a before and after that day. And the way that the collagen just lifted everything up and made her another full cup size. Because she's a mother, she breastfeeds, so they get, the mom look, a little hollowed out up here and stuff. And now it's completely full. I actually have on my phone, maybe.
Oh yeah, try to bring it up. And that was like so crazy because you just did like the top, right? There we go. It's focusing. There we go. Amazing. Yeah.
Keep it up there first.
And your pattern was just like the triangles on the front, right?
Yeah.
And close to the nipple.
Lifting to see where I needed to, and then I'd mark that off. And then I would I'll just go all the way around depending on how, the is. If they're only needing a little bit, you can just kind of start going upwards. But I did the whole breast area of where she needed it because I could feel it pulling. You always want to palpate the skin first and actually know what to lose. Because like you said, and I've always said this too, and you said it in the training, saying if your skin moves, you treat it.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorite things. So
how did you feel that the training helped you, even with all of your past experience with plasma?
by far, this was the best training that I've ever actually been through, because the other ones, they give you about 6 slides and you're done.
Wow.
And so I would be taking master classes, signing up for all these online classes for plasma, because I don't stop at just nothing. I want to be the best at everything I can do. So I wasn't going to rule that out until I became more advanced and better at what I do. And
awesome.
Then it went from there.
I'm so glad that it's been so beneficial for you. And that's, brings me to another thing about World Plasma is I've been asked to come out with like master classes and master trainings. I don't want to charge extra for those things. I want to just include them because you guys have made this investment and we're still growing and learning and everything. Right. So maybe someday I'll do that. But anytime we learn something new, I add it to the training and that's included. And we also are including microchanneling training with the ProCell machine because it's so important. I think it's so important to have both of these modalities together because they work so well together. Exactly. And then, red light, I think is amazing too. There are so many things that are great to pair with plasma. Eastyn touched on, pre-treating and getting your client's skin ready is so important when doing plasma. But yeah, go ahead.
I'm like, where's my train of thought here? Sorry, it's been a long day, everyone. Just so you know.
It's all good.
I'm still.
Can I ask you the next question?
What?
Can I ask you my next question?
Yes, of course, because I forgot.
Do you offer any personal training right now?
Yes, I do.
For those who are interested?
Yes. Anyone in this group actually that is interested in doing a hands-on training with me, I usually start out at 1,100, but I would give a discount for all you guys to 900. And it's a full day. You also get freebies in it. I have made my own consent forms, my own treatment log form, and the post and pre-care after, all that kind of stuff, that those forms.
Her treatment log form is amazing, not gonna lie. It's pretty awesome. So
I'll just show it real quick. So this is the treatment log. Hopefully we can get it to.
Now hold it right there and it'll adjust. There we go. Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah. So, and I've got tons and tons, and it'll even help the people out that don't know too much and they're just starting or whatever. My post care and pre-care is about 2.5 pages long, but I'd rather more detail in it than not have enough. So it's very detailed, and I tell them just to take it with a grain of salt. Like, don't let it like scare you, because all the aftercare, I think, is the most important part of any kind of treatment besides technique, obviously. But I'm sure.
And how much time do you spend like educating your clients?
So I always make them do a consultation first, so I can look at their skin, see if they need to be pre-treated on hydroquinone, tetranone, all that kind of stuff, see where we need to go from there. And then if they're good, and I tell them the sun, you have to stay away from, all this other stuff, then they understand that a little bit better. So at least they have the information. And then what was the actual question? Sorry, I jumped around.
So, like, how much time do you actually spend educating your clients?
Yeah. I'm like, I'll take you through it, but I forgot. You already said no. So actually, just for the consult, I'll spend 30 minutes with them. For the treatment, I numb, and I have a prescription BLT cream from my medical director. So it's a very strong one, and I still leave it on with plaster. Actually, it's the same plaster you have. Been doing that for years. So
awesome.
It's great to use the plaster. You don't want to obviously numb more than 20% of a body at a time, because that can actually hurt their, heart or head. Like, you can get a heart attack, you can get strokes, not not to scare anyone. I'm just saying, like, you want to be very, very careful about using numbing cream and going more than 20% of a body and leaving it on longer than it should be. It should be only 2 hours, and then it needs to be wiped off. I've also noticed people taking everything off and cleaning the entire face after numbing. What I would recommend is just doing it slightly, do it per area, and you just kind of fold the plastic over, wipe that section, do that section, so everything else is going to stay numb.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Well, was there anything you feel you wish that you would have known in the beginning getting started that you think would help anyone here that's trying to make a decision?
Yes, marketing. So word of mouth, I'm not kidding, is insane right now with me. It's because I brought this pen in here and I started marketing it. I started getting excited with my clients and saying, no, you don't want filler, do this. Trust me, look at these photos. And I get them so hyped up for it that they're all in. I can convert any person into a plasma pen client just because of my passion alone and my love to explain how it works. I call it, a non-invasive facelift if you're doing the face, or non-invasive breast lift. So you're basically getting surgical results without going under the knife. So that's my favorite part. And with the other pens, you couldn't really see too much. It was just very subtle changes. This pen, I do one treatment, done. That blue picture, that was one treatment.
So what do you have to say about those people who feel they get these instant results from these other pens and they're afraid they're not going to have that same effect with the Plaxel? What do you have to say about that?
I promise that the results are going to be even better than any pen out there. I've done so much research on every single pen that ever existed.
And you've used a few of them.
Yep. That's the reason why I came to you, because I've always wanted the Plaxel pen, but I don't want to go to a couple companies that offer that because I just don't like the pens in general. And I was like, I want something totally new. And when I got to talking to you guys, it was like, this is perfect. I need it today.
Yeah. Yeah, you jumped on it so fast. I was like, whoa, she did her research. I mean, you had a million questions for me, and I love that. I love questions because I like people to be educated. But yeah, you jumped on it so fast, got that thing paid off so fast. I was so impressed, which is now why she's one of our trainers.
Money maker right now. So like being able to book 3 to 4 people in a week for just plasma pen alone, it's insane. That is like the biggest moneymaker of my whole facility. So because these people that are coming in, they're not just first timers. They want to come back in because it worked, because they want to get rid of something else now. Now they want to do their neck or something because they're like, my results are just so amazing. I want to do it again. I want to do it somewhere else in my body. I actually want to do my whole body, but I can't. But we'll start there,
So what about home care? What do you have your clients doing at home to support the Plaxel?
Biggest thing is, I cannot stress that enough when I'm training people, is to go over the pre-care, no, retinols, anything harsh on your face, and then the aftercare as well. The aftercare is so important. So that's why I made it into like 3 pages long. So,
but do you also have them like
the product
work or using a professional skincare line at home? Okay.
I kind of jump around.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
You're fine. Yeah. So, now I'm already forgetting.
Professional skincare line, before and after care.
Yeah. Thank you. Sorry, my was at a funeral today, and I apologize everyone. So kind of in and out. So I'm like, am I out?
Okay.
Okay. So yes. So I have I use the Stem Bio Gel from
Antioche
MD. I'm like, spit it out. I always give them that silver colloidal gel, and I say use one in the morning, one at night, or as needed if it's itching. But I definitely want both of those because silver gel is going to help heal your skin faster naturally, and then the Bio Stem Gel obviously is going to help that collagen production even more. And this is what I do just for the scabs and right when they form. I don't let them put water on their face, nothing. It's a total dry heal that I do. So they have to stay out of the sun. They can't get it wet. They can't sweat. All those scabs are on because they'll become more vulnerable. and might eventually prematurely fall off. And we don't want to have that happen because it causes hypopigmentation, whatever you want. So then after their scabs have fallen off and they've used those 2 products that I gave them, I have a 1, 2, 3 step, and it's from Anti-Age too. And it has the human bone marrow stem cells with growth factors, which really help your collagen, build up quicker than normal treatments. So I use
we are going to do an educational Zoom at some point with Anti-Age, which is what she's talking about. So stay tuned, it's coming at some point.
I love all their products. They're amazing. So I send them home with the hyaluronic acid. That's step 1. Step 2 is the serum. And then step 3 is the accelerator, which all have stem cells and growth factors on it. You love it.
Yeah, Tana knows. I said Tana. What? Yeah, Tana knows.
Yeah. So
yeah. So we're also in future Zooms going to be talking with ProCell with microchanneling. We'll be talking with Emily Fritchie of Sunshine Botanicals, which is everything that my clients use at home. And we have some surprises there coming very soon. But Eastyn, did you have something that you wanted to?
Yes,
I didn't want to say it for you.
Yeah, no. So I am actually consent forms, post care, and the treatment log just for $1 right now. If anyone's interested in doing that, or else you could schedule hands-on training with me and you'll get them for free. So whatever you're deciding, definitely will hook you up. Like I just thought that. Yay. Okay. So if you guys are interested, either in the hands-on training, let me know. And then also let me know if you, I'm so sorry. My brain is just like,
it's okay. So if you want the consent forms for $1, if you'll just like send Mike a message and we'll get them in touch with you, or do you want to leave your info here?
I'll just leave my email for them, so then they can email, let me know, and then I'll send it over to them so that they can, edit it and all that to document, so they can do it on their computer and, take out my name, whatnot, and, fix it up a little bit if however they want to do it. So I will email that over to them. So my email is lashandlasermedspa@gmail.com.
Are you able to type it into the chat?
Oh, really?
So that everybody has it?
Yeah, let me see.
But it's Lash and Laser Med Spa all spelled out?
Yes.
Okay.
Chat here. We're both doing it, I think.
If anyone has any questions, go ahead and type them into the chat now.
Yes.
And we'll do some question and answers for Eastyn.
Yay!
Our lovely, fabulous trainer in Colorado. And if you guys go train with her, you can get some weed on the way.
I'll hook you up. It's definitely worth it. It is.
I tried it once and I'll never do it again. It freaked me out so bad.
Paranoid.
So there is, Lash and Laser Med Spa at Gmail, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So if you guys want those consent forms for $1, sounds crazy, but they're free if you go train with her. And if you guys are interested in getting your Plaxel pen and doing some hands-on training with her, with Eastyn, I can get you set up with that. So you'll have to message Mike that you guys have all been in contact with to get your pen, and then we'll be able to get you set up with the one-on-one training. If you don't want training with Eastyn and you're silly and crazy like that and you don't want it and you just want the consent forms, and just email her. That's fine too. We also have our own consent forms, but it's great to get consent forms from lots of different people.
Oh yeah, I still use
and make them your own. Yeah,
I just my other one too, just because.
I will come there in just.
You want to say hi, little guy? You want to say hi?
Yeah.
Say hi. Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. He's so short. Like, where are you?
Yeah. can't really put my phone down. That's my almost 4-year-old. So anyway, did anybody have any questions?
Yes. So one person had asked, I just saw,
Any recommendations for independent practitioners who don't work in a med spa?
it depends on your location.
Yeah, it depends on where you are. There are some states that do this under permanent makeup. So you just have to talk to your board or your cosmetology board and see what they say. There are some states they don't care. It's just in this gray area, and they're like, I don't know what that is, and whatever.
Colorado's pretty lenient with stuff, but I still have to have a medical director to do any of this kind of thing. So
let's see. Do you send them home with the travel kit of anti-age? That was a question.
So if they want to pay for that, I will. Otherwise, I'm just making my own little concoctions and giving them just that. But I always offer the travel kit.
And then how do you afford to incorporate providing those products for your clients to take home, or do you incorporate that into the cost of the procedure?
So they're really just small samples that I give out, and it comes with treatment just because the aftercare is so important. So like if I don't want to give not buying it. So I just little samples of it, and I say if you want more of it, then come back and we'll give you a whole kit. I promise.
Yeah. And can you put your Instagram in the chat? Someone was asking for your Instagram.
I'll also say it too. It's at LA Lash Laser Med Spa. So there's LA. It's like la la.
And then we had a question about, is it safe for all Fitzpatrick? And the Plaxels, the ball tip and flat tips are safe for all Fitzpatrick, but the needle tip, 1 to 3 are pretty safe. A light 4 possibly safe. I always say spot test every single person you work on just to be safe. And what do you say to that?
I absolutely agree. 100%. Always do a test spot. Also with pre-treating them for 3 weeks at least, and then 1 week off because you have to be off of it for a week before you can actually do the treatment. So those are very important just because it's an inhibitor for melanin. So you're not going to get during that time.
Awesome. Love to know suggested pricing for small areas like orbital only and how to counteract negative comments. So first part of that, here's how I standardized my pricing. I decided that for a credit card sized area, I will charge $300 and I don't go below $300. So for a credit card size area, it's always $300. Yeah. Or if you're in a higher end, you can start at $400, but I like to tell everyone, don't ever go below $300. You'll start to cheapen the market because this is totally worth it. Once you start doing a large area, you can start discounting because it can get really pricey, right. Like 300, 300, 300, 300, 300. But that's kind of my rule of thumb. What do you do?
What do I do for? Sorry, I didn't hear that last part.
Yeah. How do you price yours?
Okay. So I price mine. I set my prices high, right? So that I can offer discounts and specials and promotions, because that is what really intrigues people and grabs their attention, is because they think that they're getting a really good deal, right? So if you say, hey, it's 50% off plasma pen, and you're marketing that out, people are going to notice that, calling you, being like, are you still offering that? If it's 50% off, I want to come in. So I'm still making $1,200 just doing a neck.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I usually do the full eye kind of area, top and bottom. It's usually $800, but I do it at $400. So that's
awesome. And we have a whole pricing recommendation list. If you guys message Mike, he'll give that to you. It's also in our training, but we have one that is just kind of a standard where to get started type of pricing list. So message Mike and he'll send that to you. Also, I had a couple of clients say they had researched it and that I basically just burned the skin and I didn't have it come back. The comment came from a doctor. So Plaxel's not burning the skin. That's your comeback.
I've never, ever, ever had an issue.
Yeah, it's not burning. It's actually sending plasma energy into the skin. So it is very, very different. The client's skin is smooth afterwards. It becomes bumpy later as the carbon emerges from the skin. So it's not a superficial scab. It's not a burn. It's very different. You can burn them if you do it wrong, but that's why we have training.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because with the electric pens, I've noticed that they would be, there was like little holes. It looked like that's not how it should. So.
Right. So the other question, anyone near Cleve, Ohio, send a message to Mike. He can look through our system and let you know who's close to you that is training, who to talk to. Talk to Mike about the pen and the cost of the pen. We do include training. We include our online training with the cost of your Plaxel pen. Hands-on training is extra. But we do include our online program. If you just want to go through the online, that's cool. You'll work on models. I'll give you feedback. You get lifetime support from me.
Literally lifetime support from you and Mike.
Yeah, from the both of us. Yeah.
Yes, by the way, just so you guys know.
Oh, say that again.
I said you guys are the best, just so everyone knows.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
He's like,
and,
yes, I see you, girl. Like I can.
Yeah,
really
and how many days worth of aftercare do you give your clients? I always make sure they've got enough to last until their dots fall off, and then beyond that. So, what about you, Eastyn?
So I have these little cups that are about this big and this tall, and I'll just do probably halfway maybe on just those two products, the Biogel and the Silver Colloidal Gel. And then the other stuff, I give them enough just for that area, just to create more collagen and help them. And then they can start using their own gentle moisturizers, cleansers and stuff, but it can't include obviously retinols or AHAs, BHAs and stuff like that.
Right. And what did you say was your preference for the hydroquinone again?
So I have a contract with VI Peels, and so they have a derm beauty line, and I love all of their products. I use it every day because my skin's never felt so. And so I give them the SPF from that as afterwards too, because everyone needs their SPF. So obviously,
yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I don't put too much in, but if they do need more, I will always tell them they can stop in and grab some more. But I say go as needed because I like to do a dry heal. I think I found that worked for me a little bit better. So I tell them not to apply too much when the scabs are on, or else they'll never fall off.
Yeah.
So I say do the BioStem in the morning maybe, and then colloidal silver gel at night, or as needed for itchiness, but not,
I have another very, very good question from Stacy. With all these modalities that can treat a lot of the same issues like lasers, radio frequency, microneedling, how do you sell and market the plasma pen over these modalities? I'll let you answer that one. Yes. I have my answer, but I'll let you answer it.
Right. So I own a med spa. So I have all of those devices already, and plus PRP, I do vampire facials, but nothing has compared to the Plaxel pen and what the results can do. It's mind blowing. So normally microneedling, all those other things, they need a few sessions, right? You need a series of them. So with the Plaxel pen, this is the best investment you'll ever make, because for one, you get your money back like right away. And the kit comes with so many needles, you don't even have to reorder them for a while. And so you definitely will get your money back. So it's one thing that I really enjoy.
Yeah. And I don't like to promote plasma above my other modalities. I like to pair them with my other modalities because they work in concert with one another. So this is like another tool in your toolbox, basically. Yeah. It's a very, very good one. And it's not for everyone.
Yes, because I do some plasma pen on their forehead and then do a little bit of Botox so that it'll freeze and that those expression lines won't come back. Because foreheads are obviously really hard to treat because they're static lines and they're resting and they just stay there. So, and it's very thin skin. So to really get rid of those, I always do like a Botox and plasma pen at the same time. So combined is amazing. red light therapy,
And
but it's easy to sell even if you're in a med spa. It is very easy to sell to those clients if you are passionate enough and love it as much as we do.
yeah.
Then you will succeed. And I'm here for anyone every step of the way. So you guys
And another question is, how much is the pen with online training? I'll go over that really quick. So the pen itself is $3,000. We have a before and after care kit that you can get along with it. That's $549 extra, but the pen itself is $3,000, and we are including our online training. So with gas prices and shipping and everything going up, I'm really hoping we don't have to increase the cost, but I'm scared we might have to soon. But if you're able to get your pen tonight, we'll be including an extra 100 needles. It already comes with 200. So I'm sorry, it already comes with 100. So you'll be getting 200. I can't do math right now, Mom Mike, but
can't. It's fine.
Yeah. So I will be including 100 extra needles. I have tons of needles on order right now, so we might have to include this with your certificate when we mail your certificate. But if you are able to purchase tonight, let Mike know, and you will be getting an extra 100 needles on top of what's already included. What licenses do we have? I'm a licensed esthetician. I'm also a health coach. What about you, Eastyn?
So I'm a medical esthetician. I'm a phlebotomist, laser tech, PRP. I pretty much do it all. I do Botox, filler. I mean, I do my own. So, but I have to have a medical director, obviously, in Colorado to delegate my med spa and plasma pen. So make sure you know your state regulations, because every state's kind of different. And since it's so new, they're really not sure what category to put it in. So if just talk to a medical director if you can, or the board, but the board might not know a lot about it still. So I would ask them.
Yeah, the exclusive group that I refer to is on Facebook, and it's for students only. There is a public group, but we do have an exclusive student only group. Yes. And yeah, you guys are so welcome. Eastyn was, this is recorded too. So if you guys missed anything, I know some of you guys were cutting in and out, but we'll be posting this for you guys to see afterwards. Oh, hey, Jenna, J Mac. So if there's not any other questions, if there are more questions, pop them up in the chat real quick. Eastyn, was there anything else that you wanted to say to everybody before we conclude? We've been an hour in, so almost an hour. No, just shy of an hour. So
yeah, I wrote down a couple things. Let me see.
Oh, Anelli, I'm sorry, I can't see the name. Miss Santiago. You haven't even turned your pen on, girl. You need to turn it on. Make sure it works, first of all. I'm kidding. It'll work, but turn it on. And get through the training and schedule some time with me so we can go over any questions you have. I'm here to support you guys. Like, I joke about my kids and my twins, and I'm very, very busy. I run 2 companies. That's true, but I'm here for you guys. I've made that promise, and I will hold to it. So if you guys need any help and you're already in the program, please, 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 please reach out to me. I really want to help you out. And Eastyn is also very much a part of our student group. So if you're not in our student group yet and you are a student, please get asking questions, because she'll help you out too.
Yeah. Have another thing to throw out there. This is one that I've been wanting to talk about.
Yes.
Especially with acne scars. It's one of my favorite things to do just because of their insecurity. And then afterwards, they are the happiest people I've ever met in my life. So with acne scars, it can be a little bit tricky because you never want to go too close to the DEJ layer, which is your dermal epidermal junction layer that sits there. So you have a crater or a box scar or something like that, you have to do these little dots tight around it and then keep doing the zigzag around it. And then eventually it will, sorry, I'm gonna put this down. It'll start to expand into bigger dots in sizes. So anytime you're next to a wrinkle or the acne, you want to get really, really close to each other and then start spreading them out as you go. So right here, you're going to want to do very thin together lines, right? And then you'll start doing it out more, like spacing the pattern out more is what I'm trying to say. Like, what's the word for it?
Yeah. No, that's an awesome tip. Thank you for sharing that. And what do you see is the downtime for your clients when you work on them?
Usually just about a week, honestly. It depends.
And what about for body?
Did you just say body?
I did.
I said, but it depends because of body. We're always on the same level. The body areas actually, they tend to stay on a little bit longer than the face, just how it is. So I give them extra product in that case. So, but.
And then we had a question about, we had a question there about ProCell and when to do that. So microneedling, microchanneling, when do you incorporate that modality if you incorporate it?
ProCell?
Microneedling.
Oh, just microneedling? And they're doing it with plasma pen?
Mm-hmm. When do you incorporate microneedling if you do that with plasma?
Oh, I think I meant at the same time. I was like,
no.
This is interesting to me. Okay.
I have a story about that though. Anyway, I'll let you finish.
I would rather do the microneedling first versus the plasma pen. So I would do a microneedling session, wait about 3 to 4 weeks, and then do the plasma pen, because you can't really get any treatment, not even a regular facial, done for 12 weeks at least, because at 12 weeks, that is the final end mark that you can actually get another treatment. But that doesn't necessarily mean that their treatment's done. They're still going to be producing collagen, especially this is the number one important thing that I tell clients. I say, you need to stay away from the sunlight. These UVA rays can penetrate through anything, windows, clothing, all this stuff. While your scabs are on, they're basically a barrier to the sun.
Be a vampire.
Yes. So when they fall off or they fall off prematurely, that's going to leave some hyperpigmentation, probably post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, I'm guessing, is usually what I see. So be mindful of that, and definitely go into detail about how important the aftercare is, because people think they can just do what they want and they can't. That's why my aftercare and my pre-post care, whatever, is so long and in detail, is because I want them to know that this is a serious thing for them and they can't be doing such and such for so long. I call it a soft surgery. So it's like getting your wisdom teeth out, kind of just relax at home for a little bit. You can still go to work, but just take it easy,
And when you guys have clients that come in and they've done lasers and things other places, I'm sure this is not at your med spa, but I know of a lot of med spas that will do a laser procedure and send them home with no aftercare and don't even tell them how to care for it. I talked to someone like this the other day, and they're like, aftercare after a laser? We don't provide that. So I don't think we need your aftercare with the plasma. I was like, I think you're wrong about that, but that's just my opinion. So important. Exactly. So be mindful of this. If there are clients that will come to you and they're like, aftercare, what do you mean? I've had lasers done and I didn't do anything. So you really, really have to educate them about that and how important it is to take care of that raw skin afterwards. So important.
I just had a lady come see me. She had plasma pen done before at another place, and it was an electric pen. It was so aggressive that she freaked out that she wasn't getting scabs like that. I'm like, this is a reverse. So that just goes to show how much better the Plaxel is. And she goes, I didn't even feel a thing. Also, and the other one hurt so bad, and I didn't even get any aftercare. And they didn't do it right. They were spraying in the lines, which is way too close to the DEJ layer, I'm just going to say. And we do not want to go inside of wrinkles or scars. Anything that is divoted in your face.
Right.
You have to go around it.
You do. We have also, though, been experimenting with the drag method on the inside of the wrinkles, but a quick, like a flick. And it's been interesting. Yeah. I'm not talking drag and burn. Nope.
She was so scabbed and it was all over. It looked like one giant scab on her face.
Oh.
That's how dreadful it was. But She came to me and she's like, your procedure, she booked another procedure with me
Wow.
after that's, 700 doing just a mini facelift. Now she's paying 1,200 to do her neck now. So
Wow. Amazing.
yeah,
Amazing.
a
So
lot
you
of
have major investment back and then some.
Mhm.
And Eastyn, what settings do you recommend for under eye bags?
This is a good one. So if you can see if they are really thin right here, like obviously I own a med spa, so I'm not going to be thinning out here because I can do all the treatments. But if you see it, it's really thin on this. I would start at probably a 6, and the most I'd ever go up to around just under eyes is probably a 7. Upper eyes, I don't go above a 6. Just for
that's about like me. I start at a 5 and I look at my dots and work up if I need to.
So
yeah.
On body areas and even on faces that have a lot of, elasticity still, but just a little bit of loose skin, I might use up to an 8.
And how soon after would you do microdermabrasion?
So like I said, you don't want anything done while you're healing because you don't want to add more trauma, and you want the Plaxel, to actually do its job before stepping into another service where it could hinder your actual results. So I say wait at least that 12-week mark.
Mm-hmm. Yep, me too.
And
I think that was all the questions.
Yeah, no, I'll always schedule after I've done their procedure, I'll always schedule them out to about 9 to 10 weeks out. And then we can get the after photo at that point, see if they need another one. And kind of go from there. So you're really checking in on them, and you care about them, and you want to see them and see how their results are going, and get those after photos. Those are very important to get. So
Kimberly has a great question. I see this as like doing red light. I think it's awesome even immediately after. But her question is, what are your thoughts for an oxygen dome facial 4 weeks post-treatment?
I mean, I don't do an oxygen facial, so I'm not really familiar with them. If it's pretty light, I'd say, and adding moisture to the skin, it shouldn't hurt it. But definitely I would wait at least 6 weeks to do any of that.
Yeah, if it's anything that's touching and manipulating and treating, then yeah, I would definitely wait. But if it's something that's very gentle and you're adding nutrients into the skin, like if you're just adding oxygen to help heal the procedure, I think that's fine. To me, it's like red light therapy. But
exactly, that's why I'm like, I don't see a big issue in it, but just wait a little bit for the scabs and underlying tissue to heal up.
And I think we got one more question from J Mac. Eastyn, how long were you in the industry prior to opening your own med spa?
Good question. I like this question. So I've actually been in the industry since I was younger. I was the GM for a lot of spas. So I've been in the industry for over 10 years. But I've been certified in doing the procedures for a little bit over 3.5 years now, maybe 4. I stopped counting. But yeah, no, I've been doing this a while, and especially the plasma pen by far is my favorite. It's my baby. It's my passion, and it's easy to tell when you have that passion.
Yay, J-Mac. I'm glad you're passionate about it too. Kimberly, can red light and O2 treatment be used immediately after for Plaxel? Yes, red light definitely. With O2, if you are getting the skin way too moist, maybe not. But I don't do the oxygen domes either, so I actually don't know if they make the skin really moist. But if it's just oxygen and it's staying somewhat dry, then that should be totally fine if it's helping to heal the skin.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. And then of course, the aftercare that we have, I've got the O2 Skin Pro, the oxygen powder that we're putting into our products now. That's really speeding up the healing process. So yeah, if you need more info about that, you can let me know. But anyway, we are at an hour. So,
all right. talk a lot, but
No,
you guys
it's great.
can
This
tell
is
me
good.
if you have any other questions that you come up with, or if you want those, whatever they're called, post cares, consent forms, all the forms there. If you
If you want Eastyn's forms, email her.
Yeah.
If you're ready to get your Plaxel and you don't have it yet, send a message to Mike and we'll get you all set up there. If you're able to get your pen tonight, we'll throw in an extra 100 needles on top of what's already included. So that's our little promo tonight. And then if you want hands-on training, we can also put that into the cost of your pen with the financing. So if you need financing, we can add her training in there if you need to finance it. So just let Mike know if you're ready. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be doing this again in 2 weeks. We'll have another class. Yeah. And thank you so much, Eastyn, for joining us. You're amazing.
Of course. And I'm just leaving my Instagram and link real quick. I think I saw that. So
yeah, link your Instagram again and your email. And again, this is recorded. So we'll post this for whoever missed it or had to jump off.
I'm trying to get to the numbers. There we go.
The name of our student group is World Plasma Training Students Only. Yes. And it's got the logo really big on it. So, and yes, this video is recorded. So we will post it on the, I'll have to ask Mike. I'm pretty sure he's going to post it on our business Facebook page.
Perfect. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you, Rhonda. You guys are welcome. And thank you again, Eastyn. So good to talk to you.
So
we'll do this again with Eastyn soon. And then we'll be back on here in a couple of weeks. We'll announce that topic soon. We're having to change it because we got some exciting things that aren't ready yet. So we need to postpone what we're going to do next. But I think we're going to have ProCell on in a couple of weeks. I have to confirm that, but I will let you guys know, and Mike will send out an email blast. So again, get in contact with Mike if you need anything, or me. And thank you so much. Talk to you guys again soon. Bye.
So, bye guys.